Thank you for tuning in to Tech Total Access. I'm Matt Johnson.
And I'm Kelly O'Regan with your Hokie highlights.
The football team has drastically improved over the last 3 weeks thanks to changes made after the Duke game on September 27th. Down on the sidelines, we joined Katie Leeper. Katie, how did VT play against Duke?
The Hokies started off the game strong with a field goal early in the first half, but Duke inevitably came out on top, winning 45-10.
Both teams came off a bye week with identical 2-1 records going into tonight's game. As a result, the environment both on the field and in the stands was electric during Enter Sandman. But tonight's events were not just in celebration of Friday Night Football. To honor our military, all of Hokie Nation wore white, and the Corps Cadets joined the Marching Virginians to kick off the night. Virginia Tech's defensive line kept Duke off the board until the second quarter. Unfortunately, Virginia Tech's offensive line started faltering, and Coach Fuente tried rotating quarterbacks with no success. The halftime fireworks show and skydiving performance seemed to uplift the spirits of Hokie fans. In an effort to combat Duke's offense second half, Coach Fuente used Virginia Tech punter Oscar Bradburn's ability to limit field position advantage. But Virginia Tech's defensive line was unable to stop Duke from scoring more touchdowns.
It's disappointing. We didn't play well enough to begin with. We're going to come back on Monday and look at some things and then on to Miami.
Bradburn ranks number 2 nationally in the ACC, and his longest punt tonight was 52 yards.
It kind of just shows that a lot of hard work in the off-season is paying off. I just got to take that into next week and the next week and the next week. You know, I can't just be satisfied with doing what I've done so far.
Tonight, he traded in his number 91 uniform to number 25 as a tribute to Coach Beamer and his legacy.
Such an honor, but, you know, I wish we won. It is a great honor, though, and I'm very privileged to wear Frank Beamer's 25 jersey.
The Hokies may have not gotten the outcome they wanted at tonight's game, but as Frank Beamer says, it's not about the numbers, it's about the sense of pride of being a part of Hokie Nation. And that pride was definitely shown at tonight's game. Until next time, I'm Katie Leeper, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Katie. So the Hokies were on the road the following weekend taking on the Miami Hurricanes. Coach Fuente actually chose to put in Hendon Hooker over Ryan Willis, and he tossed 3 touchdown completions in the victory, and the Hokies won 42-35 in Miami.
This win helped the Hokies gain some confidence before the Rhode Island game came to Lane Stadium October 12th. This non-conference matchup was the second time ever the Hokies have played Rhode Island. Reporter Golder Baugh was there. Golder, how'd the team do following the impressive win last weekend?
Last week at the game against Miami, the Hokie football team and their new starting quarterback, Hendon Hooker, dominated Canes to a victory. This week, Hooker will make his debut for the first time starting quarterback here in Lane Stadium against Rhode Island. In the last past few games, Coach Fuente has made major changes to the Hokie football team starting lineup. The major change made leading to the Hokie victory was switching starting quarterback Ryan Willis with backup quarterback Hendon Hooker. When it came to the game, Hooker executed plays and protected the ball, which is why Hokie Nation has been wondering why he never started in the first place. Being able to complete 16 of his 27 passes for 261 yards and 3 scores, Hooker has not just proven that he can make changes, but that he's also a team player as well.
You know, we're just trying to do the best we can. Day in, day out, just trying to improve on little things and take our games to the next level.
Potential Hokie recruits were also in attendance for tonight's game. Since Hokie Nation came out with the win, this was a great game for them to witness with their families who supported them.
My relationship with my family is extremely tight, close to the family, and they take some points on and off the field, so we just take it and run with it until we get to this point.
Tonight's game was a prime example of what Hokie Nation is about. We hope to see a continuous winning streak. I'm Golder Baugh, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Golder. Virginia Tech is coming off 2 straight wins and hopes to continue the winning streak as they face North Carolina in Lane Stadium tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. for their homecoming game.
Homecoming week at Virginia Tech is an eventful week for students as they get to show off their Hokie pride at various events all night. Men's soccer kicks off the night of sports against Notre Dame at 5:30 at Thompson Field, while women's soccer follows playing Wake Forest at 8 p.m. and women's volleyball takes on Notre Dame in Castle Coliseum.
Sports is an important part of the atmosphere at Virginia Tech, but the Marching Virginians are unsung heroes behind the energy at the events. Tech Total Access reporter Logan McDonald has more on this talented group of Hokies.
One of the biggest sources of Hokie pride every single weekend are the Virginia Tech Hokie football games. Thousands of Hokies gather every Saturday for the Virginia Tech Hokie football games, and the pregame rituals such as Enter Sandman as well as the football players have become such an integral part of the traditions we know. However, one of the unsung heroes of all Virginia Tech sporting events, the Marching Virginians. The Marching Virginians date all the way back to their debut on September 28, 1974, and start off with just over 100 members. Now, Virginia Tech's living embodiment of school spirit is standing over 300 members strong and is an integral part to the school spirit and culture Hokies have come to cherish. Time and time again, the Marching Virginians are behind the traditions we find so dear, such as driving the crowd chants at football games, among many other aspects of Hokie sports. Nonetheless, the average Hokie tends to think of Center Street, the players, and the opponent when thinking about Virginia Tech game day. However, a typical game day is completely different for the ordinary Marching Virginian.
So an MV doesn't get to do Center Street or anything like that. We have rehearsal a couple hours before the game, and then we do the actual game. And after the game, we play a couple songs, and we're usually the last ones to leave the stadium.
Not only does the large role the Marching Virginians play in Virginia Tech culture bring honor upon its members, but it also brings with it great responsibility, especially when freshmen in the organization need to balance the responsibility with schoolwork and maintaining a healthy social life.
Considering the walk to practice and getting dinner afterwards, it takes around 3 hours a day, and that's a little bit difficult to manage that with schoolwork, but it's definitely doable.
Not only is being a member of the Marching Virginians a great responsibility, but also a great honor. Not many people think about what goes on behind the scenes with the Marching Virginians. However, they're behind the cultures and traditions that we find so dear here at Virginia Tech. This is Logan McDonald signing off from VT Total Access. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Logan. Exciting things are happening for the Virginia Tech men's basketball team. They'll be making their second appearance at the Maui Gym Invitational over Thanksgiving break. The Maui Invitational is a 4-day tournament in Hawaii, and Virginia Tech will open against Michigan State on November 25th. The men are excited with Mike Young as their new coach. There's no telling what the season will hold.
New things are happening on campus. There's been talk about the construction near Jamerson Center. The Bowman Room is being renovated thanks to the generous donation of the Pearson family. The plans include a new dining center and connecting the Jamerson Center to Castle Coliseum. This $16 million project will aid Virginia Tech in recruiting, enhance the student-athlete experience, and generate revenue.
That's all we have for your Hokie highlights. Thanks for watching Tech Total Access. I'm Matt Johnson.
And I'm Kelly O'Regan. If you have a story to share, DM us at VTTV33 and follow us to stay updated on all things sports.